Hey love bugs, welcome back to another Tarot Lover Reviews. Today is a requested review and will be a 2-in-1 comparison between the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck and its Luna edition. So if you have heard of either one of these tarot decks or you did not know either one of these existed, hopefully this review and the flip through that comes after helps you to decide on whether or not either one of these tarot decks is right for you. Now, if you want to skip to the flip through, feel free to take a look at my description. I break everything down into chapters to make it easier for you to locate where you would like to start first. But right now we are going to talk about the packaging for these two. We're going to do a side-by-side comparison of the packaging, of the guidebooks, and of the cards, card texture, stock, and imagery. So if you're interested in finding more information about that, stick around. If not, feel free to fast forward to the flip through. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk about the packaging. I'm going to start off with the original, the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck first, and then we'll go ahead and do the Luna edition so you guys can, or actually, I'm just going to do a side-by-side so that you guys can see the obvious difference between the boxes. Okay. Now, both of these, wow, I did this upside down. Now, both of these were published by US Games Systems Inc. So you can find both of these tarot decks on their website if you are interested in purchasing, but that's what the boxes look like. The backs are pretty much the same with the exception of the Luna edition. It gives you a little bit more of a description as, you know, the difference between this deck compared to the original, which is the fact that there's more diversity in the imagery, which we will definitely be getting into a little bit further on in this video. So that is the boxes. I'm going to use the Ethereal, the original box, to kind of show you how it opens, and then I'll do the same for the other one. But they open pretty much the same way. Both of them have really thick boxes, which is fantastic, especially if you keep your tarot decks in the original packaging and it accidentally falls. At least you know your tarot deck will be protected because the box itself will take the majority of the force and not damage your tarot cards. I'm not saying that you should drop it from, you know, the top of your house, but I'm just saying a simple drop, an accidental drop to the floor won't damage your cards if they are in the box, which is fantastic. So that is the packaging, the inside of, I believe I showed you the inside of this box. If not, here you go. But yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty simple when it comes to the boxes, right? And as you can see, there's definitely a size difference with the boxes, right? So keep that in mind because there is a reason for that, which is what we're going to get into next, which is the guidebooks. So with the original, this is the guidebook that it came with, little white book, right? And pretty straightforward when it came to the descriptions of each of the cards within the guidebook. Now, I believe, yeah, there is no tarot spreads in the original deck's guidebook. It's pretty straightforward. The major arcana has a little description of that particular card followed by keywords for the upright and reversals. The minor arcana does not have, they don't really have a description. They just give you keywords for the upright and reversals for the minors. So keep that in mind. Now, for the Luna edition, and the reason why the box is so big is because the book is a lot thicker. So difference here, so you can see. So there is a big difference when it comes to the thickness of the guidebooks. And that's mainly because you get color versions of each of the cards in this book. Majors has a full page. Minors just takes up the top portion of the description. So that's why the book is a lot bigger, because you're getting colored versions of the cards in the guidebook, which makes it a lot easier to kind of like compare, read the description, and be able to look at the card at the same time, which I absolutely love. For me, it doesn't have to be in color. It's a perk when it comes in color for each of the cards, but as long as there is a picture of that card with the description, I feel like that just helps a ton to understand by being able to look at the picture and continue to read on in the description of that card. Now, with the Luna edition, you get a description plus the keywords for each of the cards. So you get that description, and then you get the keywords for upright and reversal. Another reason why this book is a lot thicker. He gives more information. He being the creator, Matt Hughes, of this tarot deck. Okay, so love, 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 love. I love the fact that he added more to it to provide more information than what the original deck provided. I take that back. There is also, I wasn't sure, there are also tarot spreads in this guidebook as well. It looks like it is specific to this tarot deck, which is fantastic. So you have 2 different tarot spreads in the guidebook, along with some space for notes. So I love that. He gives you a lot of information, something to work with when it comes to the Luna edition. I'm pretty sure that he took a lot of the critiques that a lot of us have had in regards to the original version and then decided to create the Luna edition. He started off with the Kickstarter and then made it as a mass market. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about all the reasons why I love the Luna edition compared to the original. So that is the guidebooks. Okay, let's talk about the cards. So comparing the Luna edition to the original, these are the backs. Okay, and they are both the same size. They're both the same size cards, if I can hold it correctly. So both the same size cards, okay? Now, utilizing a standard tarot card size so you can get an idea, it is, actually, let me use this one. You can see a lot better the difference. The cards are a little bit bigger, okay? So the cards are a little bit bigger in size. As far as does that affect the shuffle? None whatsoever. I do not have a problem shuffling these cards at all. If you have the original Ethereal Visions, the cardstock is exactly the same between the Luna and the original, okay? Cardstock is the same. There is no difference. Maybe the Luna is a tad bit thinner. I mean, just kind of bending it. I mean, I could just be, you know, trying to find a difference, and there really isn't a difference. But I want to say they're pretty much the same when they come to the cardstock. So that is the backs. They both have the matte finish. Although it kind of looks like there's a gloss, it's a matte finish for sure. So the cards do not slip everywhere. It has just enough traction to kind of keep your cards in place, but not stuck together. So the cardstock is the same. When it comes to the thickness of the cardstock, besides them being the same, I would say it is in the Goldilocks zone, if not a little bit on the thicker side. And what I mean by Goldilocks zone is it makes for a great shuffle. Like, I have no struggle shuffling the cards. In the beginning, they may be a little bit on the tough side when it comes to shuffling in that poker style shuffle. So if you were to do this, if you shuffle like this and then, you know, let them all overlap each other, that poker style shuffle, I don't have a problem doing that. There may be a little bit of tension because it's a little bit on the thicker side, but it still makes for a great shuffle with this tarot deck. Now, if you need a visual of what I mean when it comes to the thickness of the cards, I like to do this little C scale. So you have really thin paper-like cardstock, you have the Goldilocks zone, and then you have the really thick cardstock to where you cannot bend it if you wanted to do that poker shuffle. If you were to take this particular or both of these tarot decks and start from the Goldilocks zone, it does kind of go into the thicker side. Not ridiculously a lot, but just enough to where you have some added thickness to the cards. I kind of feel like it's because it's a little bit bigger card than your typical tarot card, but I mean, it probably is a little on the thicker side. I don't want to say, the way that I'm making it sound, it makes it sound like it's really thick when it's really not that thick. It's pretty close to the Goldilocks zone. It's a flexible, but still there's structure to it. So really you have to hold the cards in order to know what I'm talking about. But I try to make it as visually understanding as possible. So that is the cardstock, the back of the cards, and the card textures. Now, let's talk about the imagery, the naming convention. The naming convention, I am comparing that to the standard Rider-Waite Smith imagery, the imagery and the naming convention. So when I'm making that comparison, that's the deck that I'm comparing it to, because a lot of the guidebooks are based off of that imagery, that naming convention. So it definitely helps to know the differences compared to the RWS tarot deck. So let's start with the naming convention before we get into the imagery. So naming convention, major arcanas, all the same, right? All the same naming, same. Minor arcana is the same. Pentacles, swords, cups, wands. There's no difference with that. There is bonus cards to this tarot deck. Okay, you get 2 bonus cards. Typically, it's just 1 bonus card that I've seen other tarot deck creators do, but Matt Hughes has done 2 bonus cards. So the bonus cards are the Artist and the Well. Okay, I'm going to show you the original Ethereal Visions tarot cards before. Well, I'm just going to show you that for the bonus cards, because I don't want to do a side-by-side, because that kind of goes into the imagery part that I want to talk about. So these are the 2 bonus cards that you get. So you have the Well and then the Artist. Okay. As far as the bonus cards, I don't feel that I need them. What they stand for, based off of the book, I feel is also represented within the cards in the original deck. Like, you don't necessarily need those cards. I don't feel like they bring anything different to the table than all the other cards can do. You know what I mean? It's a great addition, but it is something that you have to learn additional to the tarot deck. And yeah, that's just me. I don't feel like there is a need for these 2 particular cards to be in the deck when I utilize it. So I kind of keep them off to the side, or sometimes I'll forget and just leave them within the deck. And, you know, if it comes up, it comes up. But yeah, those are the bonus cards. So you do get those within the tarot deck. Now, let's talk about the imagery, because there's a lot to uncover when it comes to the differences between each of these editions. Now, you will definitely see it when you are going through the flip through, because I do that side-by-side comparison of each of the cards, so you can see the differences. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about it. With the original Ethereal Visions, the imagery is beautiful. Definitely follows that Art Nouveau style that Matt Hughes is totally known for. But when it comes to the original version, the imagery is very soft. In both of the, and I'll actually do I'll do a side-by-side comparison in a second when I show you cards. But yeah, the original is very soft on the imagery. The colors are very soft, and I feel like in some cards, they get lost. You know, if you hold the card far away, which technically you don't typically do, right? The cards are normally in front of your face, right? But if you are, you know, showing a card to your client, or your cards are on the table and your client is across the table, they may not be able to see the imagery as well as you can. You know what I mean? Or they just, neither one of you may really see all the detail within the imagery because of how soft the colors are within the original Ethereal Visions tarot. Okay. The Luna edition, I feel like he definitely took critiques, possibly took critiques, and deepened the color within the Luna edition. And you will see that, okay? So I'm going to show you examples of the color. What I feel is kind of like a color issue when it comes to the original to the Luna edition. So we are going to use the artist as an example, and you can see the difference. This one, the Luna edition, stands out so much more. Like, I feel like this person blends in with the background. Like, from far away, you really can't tell what's going on. I mean, you still can't really tell what's going on over here on the Luna edition, but you can see, and the person stands out a lot more with a darker water in the background, right? So that is what you're going to see on a large majority of the cards in the Luna edition. The imagery between the two, some of the cards are exactly the same. He used the same cards in both decks. Some of the cards are not the same. He changed up the figure being used within that particular card to something else, right? So let me give you an example. We have the King of Swords in the Ethereal Visions original. So you can see him here. You can kind of see him here, right? Again, it's a really light imagery. And then you have the King of Swords in the Luna edition. So you can see he stands out so much more because the colors are deepened. It's a different figure, but this one stands out more because the colors are more, they stand out more than the original. So the soft colors used in the original makes it hard for me. I love the imagery. I just have a hard time connecting with it sometimes because of how soft the imagery looks. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm missing something within the card when I am intuitively reading it. And I feel like sometimes it can hinder my readings, if that makes sense. Whereas the Luna edition, it is absolutely gorgeous. Vibrant colors, really makes things stand out. Now they do on the cards that are exactly the same between the two. The imagery is the same. It's just that the Luna edition has darkened the tones out. Or they may change the color tone used. So the original Ethereal deck may use a red tone in one of the figures' clothing, whereas in the Luna edition, Matt has changed it to a purple tone instead. So you'll see clothing tones change, color tones, skin color tones change. Either they're more vibrant, they're not so soft, the color change on some of them. You'll notice the difference for sure. Now, one of the ones that I really wanted, or a couple of them that I wanted to kind of showcase when it comes to the differences within the original and the Luna edition is the world. Like that, beautiful. I love that so much. I love that, right? And then the last one that I wanted to show you, justice. Like, yes, you see power with this in this one, but it just seems like a softer power, a more lenient power. This one is just like, I know, do not take my beauty as, you know, a weakness. I know what I'm doing kind of thing. That's the vibe that I get with this justice. Like, I mean business. I can be soft, but do not take that softness for weakness. Right? I love that. Love that. So you'll also notice, we can use the justice as an example, the foiling. So for the ethereal visions, you have the gold foiling, and it is sometimes used as framing. Sometimes the suit itself is that particular color where there isn't so much of a framing around the card, but the original is a gold foiling, whereas the Luna edition is this rainbow metallic foiling, silver foiling. So majority of all of the cards in the Luna edition will have that framing of the silver metallic rainbow, okay? And then for the original, it will be the gold foiling. I love silver, so I am like, it's just another reason why I love the Luna edition more than I love the ethereal visions. Now, don't get me wrong. I love them both. This deck is spicy, okay? When it comes to readings, they will tell you how it is. And I have not been the only one to say that about this tarot deck. Maybe it's because of the whole Art Nouveau vibe behind it, but it does not sugarcoat it when I do readings with this particular tarot deck, which is why I like it. It is elegant, but it is like, okay, again, with the justice, don't mistaken my softness for weakness. So that was another thing that I wanted to mention in regards to this tarot deck. But yeah, 100%, I am on the Luna edition side. I love all of the imagery. I love the change choices. I love the color choices. It is just top notch. But same thing with the original, the new edition, the new Luna edition comes with the 2 bonus cards. But again, I don't necessarily use those bonus cards because I don't feel like I need them. I feel like what they represent is already represented within the existing 78 cards. So I tend to leave those out. But yeah, those are the difference. I absolutely love this tarot deck, both versions. There's pros and cons between both of them. But yeah, definitely lean more towards the Luna edition. So I hope this video has helped in some way. Let me know, leave me a like, and take a look at my channel. See if there's another tarot deck out there that you are interested in that I have already reviewed. Take a look at that. Let me know how you liked that one. But if you did not find a tarot deck that you were interested in and you would like to see a review on it, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know what that tarot deck is, because chances are I probably already have that tarot deck and I haven't done a review on it. So let me know. Otherwise, here comes the flip through. Enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.